Hi there, Virgo! How are you? For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Anissa from The Inner Stereo. And for those of you who have been here a long time, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I'm really sorry that I didn't get to do your November readings, I know. Sorry. I had to deal with life in my daughter's school. She's going to go into the first grade next year, so it's been quite a journey. Yeah, and I also had to deal with my personal readings up to the point that I needed to take like a 2 weeks time off. So I'm really sorry about that, but I feel like I'm just going to move on and proceed to your end of November readings from the 23rd until the 30th of November, if you don't mind, so that, you know, we can just move on. And next week, at the beginning of December, I'm going to be uploading your December reading. Okay, so for those of you who are new to my channel, this is going to be a relationship spread, and you could always apply this with anyone in your life. It could be with your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, exes, crushes, fiance, family members, anyone. I'm basically just going to be picking up your relationship energy in general, all right? So let's talk about your energy for the now. Nine of Swords. It's been popping out in your overall energy for quite some time now, Virgo. I've been doing your reading for quite some time, so I noticed that. You also have the Ten of Pentacles and also the Empress card in here. Something that is lacking in your relationship sector is that the emotional securities and the emotional stabilities that you feel like you needed. You know, you kind of like felt like you're not really on the same page and on the same terms about something, and then you guys are the type of person that you like to rely on something that is comforting for you, right? Something that is much of a routine for you. But I feel like in the now, you're kind of like losing your creativities. You're kind of like losing your creative ideas about how to make this relationship work, especially when that relationship is not giving you any ounce of emotional securities or stabilities that you need. The Empress card in reverse in here also talks about back in the days where you guys were so much wanting to please, like you wanted so much to please, and now you're much more in a effort attitude. Like I don't need people to like me anymore. I don't want to please people anymore. Like I don't want to be doing something that I shouldn't be doing, because Virgos have the tendency to take over responsibilities that is not even your responsibilities, if that makes sense. Like you just felt responsible to do it, you just felt compelled to do something, but it's not even your responsibilities to begin with. And now I feel like you're starting to realize that traits of yours, and you're like, you know what, I think I need to stop giving too much care over certain things in my life. What is challenging you here? You have the Ace of Chalices, and you also have the Two of Chalices, Chalices of Cups. So Two of Cups, we're talking about the die down of emotions, the die down of that honeymoon phase. So there's no longer that intense connections or intense excitement that was going on in the initial phase of the relationship. Or you kind of like sense that the partner that you're with right now is not seeing you eye to eye. They're not meeting you halfway when it comes to a certain things, and it just drives you nuts. With the Ace of Chalices in here, you kind of like felt a little bit drained right now. Try to shelf. Don't forget to shelf, you know. Don't forget to compartmentalize things. Meaning that if you're having like a little bit of a problem with your love department, try not to let it have like any dominant effect into your work or into your friendship or into your family. Try to compartmentalize that, all right? Because I feel like with this Ace of Chalices, sometimes it kind of like spread over to your work up to the point that you don't feel very, very much creative somehow. So let's see your past, Virgo. The Hanged Man, a proposition. So in the past, you were dealing with somebody who in the past, so we're talking about recent past there. In the past, they didn't really trust you, or they didn't really have faith in you. They feel like in a relationship with you, they were walking in the dark. They're trying to see things in the dark, and now they're getting out of that period of illusions, and they're trying to see things from your point of view. So they're being the hangman in here. They were being very, very patient and trying to see things and being much more understanding towards you. So I feel like there's like a lot of maturation. What do you call it in English? I don't know. But they're getting more mature in the past. Three of Swords. Eight of Swords. Yeah, I mean, this person is trying to understand why you're always so anxious about things. Like they're hanging in there. They don't even want to disturb you or anything because they just want to deal you to deal with your own pain, with your own head pain. You know what I mean? Because you do have a tendency to become over anxious and worried, and they're kind of like hanging in there. If you guys are in a period of no contact, they're kind of like waiting on you a little bit here. And it makes you feel bad because you know that they're waiting on you, and you kind of like felt like, well, I think it's my responsibilities. But you have the Wheel of the Year here, so it's like the Jupiter is kind of like shining brightly in there. Jupiter have the tendency to expand whatever it touches. So meaning that if you were focusing so much on negative thoughts or anxieties, then it expands on that. So be careful about that, especially since Jupiter is now moving to Sagittarius, a period where everybody needs to expand positive traits in them. So the person that you're dealing with actually wants to lower down their weapon, and they're not willing to fight any longer. In the past, they were also like this. I know that you were hurt with the Three of Swords in here. Something hurt you so bad in the past with the Three of Swords. It's either their words. The Three of Swords also talks about triangulations, but it's just a few Virgos. I'm not going to say that all of Virgos in the whole wide world is there with triangulations, nah, but there's something that is hurting you so bad, and the person that you were dealing with in the past was so sorry about it, that they were remorseful and they regret it. That's why they were being the hangman. So they were just hanging out there, and then they're hanging there waiting for you to be dealing with that headache pain that you're dealing with. And then, yeah, they're trying to understand you, and they don't actually want to fight any longer. They're willing to lower down their weapons, but I feel like you're not really in the mood for that because you were so disappointed with the Five of Pentacles in here. You're still dealing with the after effect of whatever was happening in the past, and it kind of like develops you to have like a severe trust issues in here with the Queen of Swords in reverse. You're being very logical up to the point where you guys are illogical, you know what I mean? Like your thoughts is kind of like keep blocking, like they want to, like they're trying to lower down their weapons, and they're like, you know what, let's do something fresh, let's break free from the cycle that we've been in the past. So I feel like this relationship has its own karmic cycles, has its own repeating patterns, and they're like, you know what, let's start anew. Like I promise, like I understand I hurt you in the past, let's do this. But I feel like because you're so disappointed, you guys are so hurt that right now you're just not ready. You guys are just not ready. You could be dealing with two people though. So that was for one person scenario, but if you're dealing with two people in the past, you know, there's like this events or circumstances that makes you be meeting with somebody who is just so joyous, who is so adventurous, somebody who is willing to take the giant leap of faith with you. And because of this positive attitude of them, plus the Jupiter effect of you highlighting that relationship sector of you in the past, you know, you guys also want to break free with the Chariot card in here. You're starting to have faith within them, like, oh, well, yeah, maybe it's leading somewhere. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a go. I'm just going to go there. So you both are taking that giant leap of faith. But if you're only dealing with one person, it's a little bit like 25% of you wants to keep it going, but you cannot help the fact that 75% of you is still disappointed. Okay, so emotionally, you're still driven there, but your brain, your conscious mind is like 75% of them is still hurt and disappointed. Magician. So this person has a willingness to stay here, the way I see it, Virgo. And they're trying to create this master plan. What is it that they want to do with you and stuff? But there are certain things, like you demand them to change. make sure that you're able to communicate exactly what is it that you don't like about them, because again, as I said, I see a repeating pattern going on in here, right? Although they try to understand it, but I feel like in the past, the way you communicate it, they don't get it as of yet. Because in the future, they have a goodwill, they have a good intentions, like they want to build a future together with you. They're going to be creating like this master plans, and they have an idea inside of their head. You know what? I feel like this is what I'm going to do with a Virgo. This is how I'm going to win a Virgo's trust back. But the thing is that they're looking in a bigger picture while you guys are looking in a smaller picture. You have an issue, like a really tiny, minuscule issues about them, but it bugs you a lot. And I feel like they don't get it. You know, and if you are unable to communicate that issue that bugs you, it's going to be a repeating pattern again in the future, something that's making you be the Nine of Wands in reverse, making you be more impulsive. So you are not going to hold it in again like you did in the past. You're just going to keep going to lash out at them. And you have the World card in reverse in here, so it's like an argument or an issue that has not been resolved fully 100%. Okay, you want them to change something, you better communicate it. What is it that you really, really want them to change? And not trying to be as too passive-aggressive about it, or just like, I'm not going to say that you guys are playing the passive-aggressive, but I feel like you just want them to think for themselves. You know what I mean? Like, you feel like they're smart enough to understand you, but sometimes people need blunt truth. They need blunt directions. They need blunt examples. Like, if you guys are dealing with a Sagittarians like me, I wouldn't get people being passive-aggressive, because that's just not my nature. Okay, so people are a little bit different, although they might be smart, but in tiny things, they're not that smart. They're not that smart of reading between the lines, and you need to explain it to them, you know what I mean? Because they have the willingness to change. They're sorry. They want to change. They want to do anything for you, but they just don't get what is it that bugs you a lot, what is it that hurts you a lot. They just don't get it, and I feel like you need to practice to able to articulate your feelings a little bit more better in the now, all right? And even in the future. All right, so I think that's it for my reading for you guys, Virgo. I'll see you guys next week for your December readings. I hope you have a great week ahead. Bye-bye.